is good and amazing, and the closer you get to the top, the better. It's Go, S tier, A tier, Yikes tier, which is a cause for concern, and awful. But again, I don't know why they use this font. It is what it is. Battle of Z was complete trash. If you need a slight little refresher, I will show you right here some of the worst gameplay I've ever seen, just objectively. It was actually terrible. I can't lie. The way they had these people fighting in this game, the things they had you doing, it just looks awful, bro. I think this came after or right before Xenoverse. It was an experiment that never needed to happen. I would have probably loved the game when I was a kid, though, because it would have been all that I would have had. But nah, this is actually abysmal. I can't believe they dropped this. Mechanically, I heard it worked horribly, and it just looks like a snooze fest, even from the gameplay. I'm gonna put it in the awful tier, you know what I'm saying? It looks stiff, yeah, you're right. Dragon Ball Z Budokai. I'm pretty sure, and I might be wrong, but this probably was like my first. You know what? I'm not gonna be biased. It was pretty good. I liked it. I played it out a lot. It had a lot of the original cutscenes in it, a lot of good references. Its own original, really fire music soundtrack for Budokai was amazing. It was fantastic. And I also like how in the time that it came out, the game was affordable, from what I remember. I don't remember ever paying more than $20 to have this game at any point in time. And it was always a good time. It was always fun. Split screen, really good cutscenes. They didn't pull back on nothing. And the game looked decent for its time too. It could have been, this is a crazy pause. This is a crazy pause, but it didn't look bad.
Kakarot, you don't want to hurt your own brother, do you?
No. When I was a kid, I was fucking with it.
No, you can't listen to him, Goku. He's only telling lies.
It looked good, bro. It does. It looks really good. Like, when did this drop? Like, early 2000s, something like that? And if you got really good at the game and could do combos and everything, it was super satisfying. I fuck with it. I'm gonna give it S tier. Mechanically speaking, it wasn't bad. Now, Budokai 2 came out, and it was kind of just an updated version of Budokai, like the first version. But unfortunately, I'm gonna put this in a tier below it because Budokai 2 didn't have any unique gameplay. It didn't have any unique cutscenes. I think you were just moving on a board and pieces got to talk to you with the story. It looked a little better graphically, but I thought it had like a bit of a border problem. You know what I'm saying? Like outlines were a little too thick. So I wasn't really, you know, rocking with that too much. It just didn't feel nearly as interactive. It felt like very comic booky, which I didn't like. I wasn't a fan of it. And I was pretty bored throughout most of my playthrough the first time I ended up playing this game. So same game, but just less charismatic to an extent, if that makes any sense. Then they had the third version, which was pretty much everything I needed. You know, it wanted to be a little open worldy, but it still was missing that flair that Budokai had with the original cutscenes and everything like that, from what I remember. But it did have like some open world type shit that you could do. It was very much reminiscent Budokai 2, but just not with the shit on the side of you like having to go interact with the story through moving like on a chessboard. But they didn't have any unique cutscenes, but the gameplay. And then they dropped a remastered version, like an updated version later on. So, I mean, mechanically speaking, this is the best out of all three of those. But overall design and story inclusion and immersion, I probably still give it to Budokai 1 as my favorite. Granted, I'm showing you the HD version. This is like the updated later version that I think Xbox 360 got. Oh, that looks so clean when you know how to do it. I forgot this was even in the game. I forgot. 3 is better than all of them, mechanically speaking, and the way it looks. But in terms of originality, do I put Budokai above it? Y'all don't understand. The story mode thing is a really, like, that's a big deal to me. That's a huge deal. And Budokai did it the best. I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, Burst Limit, it really should be GOAT. Because I think out of every single Dragon Ball game that I've ever played, Burst Limit looks the best, it plays the best, and it's the most rewarding to be good at. But it was never finished. It stopped, I think, at the Broly series or at the Broly saga, and that was it. This game looks amazing. The combat on this shit was so fluid. UI was good enough. Like, this is leagues above Budokai 3, 2, and 1. This is like a step in the next direction. The only thing this game needed was more time, and it would have overtaken all of that easily. It just stopped too early. It needed more time for development. So by default, I'm gonna put it right here next to Budokai 2, which I think has like no charisma, like zero charm at all. To be honest, I would put Budokai 2 down here, because I don't think this game has any charm and no reason to go back to it if you have access to 3 and 1. So the burst limit just needed more time. Fighters, this was the introduction into the like super competitive scene. You know what I'm saying? So most of y'all are still probably either playing this game right now or you recently played it. I think it dropped in 2018. Mechanically speaking, when the game dropped, and for a long time, I would say, really good fighter. Real good for the competitive scene. I didn't think that they would ever have a game that looked like that and played like that. It was one of the smallest games I ever downloaded. Yeah, direction for this game is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's its own thing. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say it's niche, but it's not meant to have like a great story. It's not meant to have a super engaging quality outside of the fighting, because that's like the main core element of this game. So there's really nothing else to go to it for outside of playing it for multiplayer purposes. So it's really no offline enjoyment, at least for me. I still got to give it a tier above Budokai. So I'm gonna just keep it right here for the time being. But it is a great game. It is a great game. Final bout. Okay, that's what that says. Dragon Ball Final Bout. Final bout, you're gonna laugh at, okay? I'm just letting you know before we get to it, you're gonna laugh. This is the character roster. This is a character roster. And you know, I'm not gonna lie, it's about to look horrible. I didn't make the game. I'm just showing you what was available. This is actually crazy. This is actually insane. Yeah, this is a little crazy. I'm gonna be honest. This is a little crazy. I cannot in good faith ever recommend this game. For the time that it came out, I wouldn't recommend the game. There were better fighters when the game dropped. I'm gonna be honest with you. So yeah, I mean, it needed something. It just needed something, though. I gotta be honest with you. It just needed something. We've come so far. We've come so far, and I'm so happy I'm in a time where I can appreciate where we've come from and also consume where we're at. I'm so happy I'm in that perfect time frame. But this game is ass. Back then and right now, it is ass. Almost nothing on this list could be as bad as Dragon Ball a Battle of Z, I'm gonna be honest. Unless Ultimate Tenkaichi falls on this list somewhere, and I don't think that's possible. Dragon Ball Z Infinite World, I've never played that game. Think I've seen it somewhere before though. So it's looking like repackaged Budokai. Repackaged Budokai with like some mini games. Same concept. A better Budokai 3, really? A better Budokai 3? Slightly worse UI, but it looks like it pretty much plays the same. Infinite World was better? I'm still undecided, so I don't know where I would put this. At least from what I've seen, it looks like it would deserve anything above these right here. So I'm gonna just put it in the middle range because I don't really. Dragon Ball Raging Blast, I played the second one. The first one I played for a little bit at my cousin's house, and I didn't like it. I didn't like where it was going. And again, I'm coming from Tenkaichi series, so seeing Raging Blast and the camera movement and me having to alter my shit every couple seconds, I just wasn't a fan of. But combat share a lot in common with Budokai Tenkaichi. So I really should have liked it more, but it just didn't have that wow factor the same way the other games did. And I just didn't like the way it looked in comparison, which is maybe a bad example or a bad criticism at the time because it realistically kind of looked better than the Tenkaichi series, but it didn't play as fast to me. And I didn't get involved. I didn't get invested the same way I did into the Budokai Tenkaichi series. It just wasn't my thing. But it's still like I understood its place for the most part, but this was how I was feeling about the first one. And the second one I felt more positive too, but it still wasn't my favorite. And I don't remember the story being that engaging or that great either. I do know they had some what if characters though. They had like Super Saiyan 3 Broly and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. I thought that was cool, but I didn't really see anything else that would draw me back to the game. But it did look good. So this is basically what Sparking Zero is, a combination of Budokai and Raging Blast.
Oh!
So it looked good. I don't know why this dude making these sound effects, but it's just all the additional cutscenes and button inputs that I didn't like. I didn't like the way it transitioned into shit, but it played smooth for the most part. And it looked phenomenal. It looked like a really good game. It could realistically go here, but the story mode and the extra inputs bring it down here, I'm gonna be honest. Shin Budokai, I'm pretty sure this is a PSP game. It's just Budokai on PSP, and that's it. You know, I don't really have nothing else to say about it. It's decent for a handheld game. Same concept, but it's good for a mobile game. So maybe I'll go a little higher. I might have to take all of these a tier higher, because I remember playing this game. I just didn't play Infinite World to say whether it's in S tier or not. It could do some, you know what I'm saying? It could use a little something, but it's not bad for it to be a handheld game. Played the game for so long. I would imagine if they dropped another one, it'd have to be at least on par with the first one, reasonably speaking. These two, I have no fucking idea what these are. Never seen it before. I don't think I played them either. So by default, y'all gotta go right here, just temporarily. I've never in my life seen a Dragon Ball, the Nintendo 64, Super Butoden, is that what that's called? Dragon Ball Kart, nigga, is this real? Oh, hell nah. You know what, that actually don't look terrible. And anything's better than Final Bout, I'm gonna be honest. Oh shit, he bouncing his... And they spell Frieza the right way. All right, I mean, anything's better than Final Bout. It is what it is. I'm gonna put it up here. Actually, I'm gonna put it right here. It got a little bit more charm. It's just Super Dragon Ball, that's it. Oh, I played this. Forgot all about this game. Oh my God, they just unlocked a memory. I was so frustrated playing this game now that I think about it. And I hated the beams. It reminded me of Dragon Ball Sagas. Bro, he is whooping his ass. Nigga, fight back. I remember this game now. I do. I remember it. Story mode, I'm hazy on though. I'm hazy on story mode. But from what I remember, it was frustrating. But when I was having fun, I was having fun. So I'm going to put it in this tier, the A tier. They don't have Sagas in here. These are frauds, bro. These not real fans. They don't have Sagas in here. Budokai Tenkaichi 2 kind of in the same lane as... Damn, can I put it underneath? Nah, it's at least there. It's at least here. It kind of got the same problem that Budokai 2 has though. Like, very little in terms of its charm. The first and the third versions of the game do more to break the game out of its, you know, initial shell. And the third game is just so much better than the second and the first that the second is almost no point in acknowledging. So it just gets, it's like the middle child of the series. Like nobody goes to pay attention to it because if you got the first one, you know how good it felt playing it for the first time. And if you got the third one, why play the second one? You know what I'm saying? Third one, easily one of the greatest games all time. Combat is perfect. Character roster is phenomenal. BT2 story is the best. I disagree. I disagree. What is the story of BT2? I don't understand what this story did different. Because I understand they went into probably a little bit more. But in terms of like the gameplay, I don't really see how anything really changed like that. But I'm going off my experience playing the game. Like, if I had access to all three games, the second one is the one I would play the least. Play value? I don't get it. There's, like I said, there's an element to the story I must be missing, but it didn't do anything different in my mind from when I played the first or the third games. First Tenkaichi, I'm gonna put it up here. It was one of my favorite games. I got it for Christmas, not too long after it came out. It was fire. They had destructible environments to a degree. They had destructible clothing to a degree. And graphically, it wasn't that impressive, but it was like a huge jump in what you could do 3D wise with Dragon Ball games. So I fell in love for a little bit. Also, why isn't Kakarot in this list? Like, I feel like y'all missed some shit. Y'all missed Sagas. Y'all missed Kakarot. Y'all missed Battle 22 for PlayStation. I don't remember. This is actually crazy. This is actually crazy. This is actually insane. They tried it though. It looked like it got a little bit more to offer than this game right here. So I might drag this one down a bit and then put this one on top like that. But I only watched a little bit, and they both kind of seem to have the same principle. Just one just looks better graphically. So yeah, I'm gonna just make that little switch. Ultimate Tenkaichi, ass. Easily one of the worst games I played out of the Dragon Ball franchise. It plays like shit to me. It's way too many breaks in the action. Everything feels like a QTE. No, I'm not a fan. If you had access to any of the older like previous games, I feel like you would not entertain this game like at all. It's such a huge pivot and it just doesn't feel natural. It's not seamless. It don't feel engaging. It feels like the game's being played for you the whole time. Graphics weren't bad though. Visually speaking, it wasn't bad. This is crazy. You couldn't do a combo without having a cinematic, bro. Like camera angle switch every 2 seconds, bro. Like
Best soundtrack combo.
Let me cook. Let me cook. Hey, this game had me hot when I was playing it the first time. Because why would I want to play this after coming from the other games? All the control y'all gave me before, and now I'm stuck in a fucking combat simulator. Like, why? Niggas
Some
saying,
of voices didn't even come close to matching the mouth movement.
Niggas saying I'm hating this 8. Bro, I already know if you're using this 8, you didn't play this game. You didn't play this game. If that's what you're saying, you didn't play this game. That's not even in your vocab. I gotta have a camera angle change just to throw some key blasts. Oh, nah. Bro, I'm playing as Goku and Vegeta's in the front camera. I'm not. I can't, bro. This shit ass. Xenoverse. The first game, not bad. Not bad. Had a lot of little cool techniques and quirks. You got to create your character in a lot more intricate design this time than you were able to in like Ultimate Tenkaichi. You got a lot more customizability. You got to choose your moves. You were involved in the story, but you didn't really have a voice technically. They just kind of told you that you was a center theme and you just had to kind of make things and put them back the way they were in the story. But it was engaging enough and it revived the series in a little bit of a way. Not bad, you know, so I'm gonna put it right here. It was cool. It was a cool little revival too. It was a cool little revival and I enjoyed my time. I enjoyed my time. But the second game improved everything that the first game did, gave it a little bit more oomph to the original story, a lot more cutscenes. The content for this game is actually ridiculous. And you saying it refuses to die, I agree with you, but I respect that at the same time because any Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 fan is getting fed nonstop. They are always coming out with some type of content for these niggas to play all the time. Character roster is insane. Combat isn't bad. It's a little stiff, but you do get to create your character. I will put it up here. I'm gonna be honest with you. They got a lot in Xenoverse 2 to fuck with. Like, after looking at the game in its totality, it has its own era. It's effective. It gets its point across. It's very effective. And your own created character could go all the way up to Super Saiyan 3. I think in a DLC you can be a god, can't you? Can't you be like a Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue or something in the game with a customizable character? They let you do anything. There's no way you can be Ultra Instinct now. You can be Beast?
You can deadass be anything except SSJ4 now.
Yeah, but even the modding community for this game is like, this game has some of the most backing I think I've ever seen a game receive. Like, community-wise, this game is ridiculous for its support and just the things that you can do within the game. It's actually crazy. It actually is crazy. It's actually insane. If I showed y'all mod footage of this game, you would be like, why aren't we getting Xenoverse 3? To be honest, if they would have announced Xenoverse 3 with a whole bunch of new shit that you can do instead of Sparking Zero, I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't have been mad at that. So it deserves its spot, in my opinion. Then we got Tenkaichi Tag Team, which, you know, It's basically Budokai Tenkaichi on handheld. Not bad either. Not great. You need 2 players in order to fight in every match, I think. Or I think some matches you can do just one. But it's literally just Tenkaichi on handheld, and you got a tag teamer. That's it, basically. And then they got this one, which I think is a sequel to the other one that we just grabbed. How much better would this be? I don't know. Yeah, I don't think that this list looked too bad. You know, keep in mind, I haven't played a couple of them. There's a couple of these that I have not played, so just keep that in mind. But I think Budokai, the first game, Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and Xenoverse 2 being the best games that Dragon Ball has ever come out with, I don't think that's bad. That's bad takes. I don't think that's bad takes at all. We are missing Kakarot, we're missing Dragon Ball Sagas, and we're missing Legacy of Goku. But you know, it's a good enough. It's a good enough amount of things for people that have played a lot of Dragon Ball games. So it's not bad. Hopefully, Sparking Zero manages to land on the top of this list and potentially dethrone BT3. I don't know if it'll be possible, but hopefully it lands somewhere up in the S to GOAT tier category, at least, hopefully. Like, the story of Kakarot was amazing. A game that got to everything. Them niggas on they got to everything. Them niggas didn't miss anything that happened in the story. Except they could have came out with DLC that covered the movies and, Super, obviously. If Kakarot covered Super, I don't think anybody would have any type of... They wouldn't be looking at it hazy if you put it in S tier. Because it very easily would be S tier just for story alone. No. I mean, like, the Tournament of Power. Not just the Dragon Ball movie. Not just the 2 movies. I mean, like, they needed to go and cover the Tournament of Power and do the Broly movie. If they would have done that, then it would have been perfect.